The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
What is going on, Missouri? Missouri High School Sports here. Welcome to Friday Night Live from the Pizza Ranch studio, presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Doak Propane, Labor's Local 663, the Bank of Billings. Certainly glad you've tuned in, and as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Well, here we are. It's week 9. The last week of the regular season in high school football. Some games were played last night. Don't know that anything will be played tomorrow, but there were some games on the docket last night. Lots of interesting occurrences out there tonight. Kickapoos just went final. They hang on and beat Bolivar just 12-7. Meanwhile, in the fourth quarter, Camdenton with a narrow lead over Glendale, 29-22. We'll run through the scores that we have at this point here on the Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks. Week 9 high school football scoreboard presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Doak Propane, Great Southern Bank, Labor's Local 663, the Bank of Billings, and from the Pizza Ranch studio. First off, games that took place last night. It was Ava over Willow Springs, 50-7. Francis Howe North defeats Fort Zumwalt South, 35-13. Normandy over Jennings, 30-16. Norburn over Keatsville, 52-12. Southeast defeats Northeast Kansas City, 38-0. It was Albany over Pattonsburg, 74-32. Pierce City defeats Stockton, 34-28. New Madrid Central over Portageville, 41-13. And Sullivan defeats North County, 34-13. And for the Central Bank of the Ozarks, scoreboard from tonight. Here on page 1, 8-man foot finals we have at this time. Rockport defeats Mound City 18-14. North Andrew over Southwest, 68-8. Was Worth County over Stanberry, 66-14. Here on page 2, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. Pizza Ranch with 7 locations in Missouri, about to be 8. Pizza Ranch is the host of the Quarterback Club every Monday in Springfield on the mall at Pizza Ranch every Monday at 11:30. Come by and hear from the coaches. Meet some of the media members, as well as get a great meal at the Pizza Ranch buffet, 11:30 to 1. And we will be traveling. Once again, we'll do a Pizza Ranch Quarterback Club luncheon in St. Joe, Missouri on November the 3rd. Invite everyone close to come out. Here, we'll update this page here right quick as we're currently adding scores. Here as we go along, it was Brentwood over Sparta, Illinois, 48-0. Gallatin defeats Princeton, 13-0. That was a forfeit. Lafayette County over Carrollton, 79-12. Malden also falls in a forfeit to Dexter, 13-0. It was Mark Twain over Van Far, 68-6. Midview Canyon defeats Plattsburgh, 63-6. Colcamp over Midway, 50-6. Marionville over Miller, 42-6. Monroe City over Clark County, 50-0. Was North Platte 36, Lathrop 14. South Shelby over Palmyra, 31-6. Putnam County defeats Polo, 42-8. Russellville wins via forfeit over Agape, 13-0. Kabul shuts out Salem, 44-0. Elsewhere, here on page 2, is Trenton over South Harrison, 48-0. Lincoln defeats Wellington Napoleon 54-14. Western shuts out Salisbury 44-0. And Windsor, in another forfeit, falls to Lone Jack 13-0. Page 3, brought to you by Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to Friday Night Live here. I'm Guy Newcomb, the scoreboard guy. I'll be alongside till about 11, provided my voice holds out. Been a little bit under the weather today. Been spent the last about 2 hours sleeping on a heating pad trying to get my head cleared up. But so far, so good. Moving on to our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks page 3. Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks sponsors our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athletes of the Week. And you can go to MissouriSportsNetwork.com and you can see those athletes up today. We put up Tyson Elliott, quarterback from Mountain Grove, who set the passing record, yards passing at Mountain Grove High School, going over 5,000 yards, and the career touchdown record, going over 57 touchdowns. Don't know what he did tonight, but we'll see if we can't find out. But all of those interviews are up at MissouriSportsNetwork.com. Just click on the icon. You'll see the picture and the name. But here on page 3, it was California over Hallsville, 41-38. McDonald County defeats East Newton 40-14. Springfield Central, a big win over a 6-2 Forsyth team. And Springfield Central improves to 7-2. Their last 6-win season came in 1986. Not sure when the last 7-win season came. But Shem Johnson done a remarkable job there at Springfield Central. Wins tonight 57-11. It was Union over Herman 21-14. Been asked a lot about this Liberty Mountain View Houston game. Probably will decide that conference championship, and unable to find a score, even a third quarter score on that. It was Borgia winning in a forfeit over Missouri Military. Mount Vernon and Reed Spring, that's a big one there in the Big 8. Reed Spring coming in ranked in the state. We'll see. We'll hunt some of these up-to-date scores that we can get them here in a minute that we don't have finals for. It was Bowling Green over North Callaway, 61-12. Osage shuts out Versailles, 52-0. Nevada in a big win, 49-14 over Seneca. So that's going to shake up that side of the Big 8 conference there in that one. But 49-14, Coach Wes Beecher with the big win there. We will be hearing from Diamond head football coach Mac Whitehead here later on this evening. Got to see him at the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame as the Seneca football team from 1983 to 1996 was inducted, and a lot of players showed up for that. Elsewhere here on page 3, St. Genevieve defeats Kelly 42-14. Park Hill Central over Farmington. Here's we move on to page 4. Page 4 brought to you by the Laborers Local 663, Building Missouri and Missouri State University. Park Hill Central 48-14 over Farmington. It was Valley Catholic over Kennett 46-16. Logan Rogersville shuts out Aurora 45-0. St. Mary's defeats Lutheran North 51-13. Jeff City over Moberly 58-14. Moving now into page 4. Page 4 brought to you by Saddle Ridge Golf and Country, located here in Bolivar, Missouri, and they hosted the Class II State Golf Championships this past earlier this week, Saddle Ridge Golf and Country, page 5. Excelsior Springs over Ruskin, 41-14. Jackson shuts out Festus 52-0. And page 6, brought to you by the Bank of Billings. The Bank of Billings, established in 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Eureka, 39-2 over Hazelwood Central. Big games going on in Class 6. Sackman, as they defeat Webster Groves 48-6. Webb City over Branson 56-14 in that contest. Moving here to page 7 and our final page here. Brought to you by Great Southern Bank. Great Southern Bank, with more than 100 locations in 6 states. Great Southern Bank, they care as much about your money as you do. Great Southern Bank, member FDIC. Was Hickman over Belleville, Illinois, 22-20. East St. Louis defeats DeSmet 40-10. And Rockhurst over Harmon, Kansas, 41-0. One game on Saturday that we do know about, brought to you by Doak Propane. Doak Propane for all your propane needs. See the folks at Doak. Rittenhour will be at University City. As we look through some of the notifications here coming in, and to chat with us right here on the website, you go right to the Pizza Ranch studio and through Facebook or Twitter or even YouTube, and you can type us a message. Maybe you have a final, or maybe you're just tuning in and want us to know where you're tuning in from. But here is 9:42, and with 2:26 remaining in the fourth quarter, Ash Grove leads Sarcoxy 46-44. We have a final from Fulton, as Fulton defeats Winfield 28-20. Also a final, Cape Central over Potosi 34-27. 29 all with 11:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. Glendale has tied up Camdenton at 29. And we'll go down and look through here. Kickapoo defeats Bolivar 12-7. Milan from the Cemetery Bowl, and that's what was sent to me. It is the Cemetery Bowl in Maysville. Milan defeats Maysville 34-26. That has gone final. Drexel now leads the Saints 58-28. That's 8-man ball. And it has gone final from Forsyth. We did mention that score, as Central defeats Forsyth. We'll try and get a more update here, more recent on that Glendale game. Glendale came tied at 29. We had Coach on a week after that big win over Lebanon. Said they've really got to get prepared because Glendale completely different here. Another final is Republic has defeated Carl Junction 35-17. So those are the finals that we have at this time. Break here. We'll come back and hopefully we'll get to hear from Coach Wes Beechler at Nevada.
Welcome to the cottages at Fairhaven Cove. This resort spans 12 acres on a quiet cove on Table Rock Lake. You will feel right at home in one of the newly renovated cottages. Options include studio, 1-bedroom, and 2-bedroom units. These units have been beautifully redone from floor to ceiling and offer both comfort and style. Each cottage has a fully functional kitchen, deck, or balcony with incredible lake view and outdoor entertainment area complete with a grill. Whether a couple or family, the perfect space awaits you. RV parking at Fairhaven Cove is now available to all guests as well. This is an ideal spot for a weekend getaway or family reunions. 4 full hookup RV parking sites are offered. Each site is complete with a picnic table, grill, Wi-Fi, and digital TV upon request. All guests have access to the numerous amenities that Fairhaven Cove offers. 2 boat docks are available for use. You can take a dip in the lake, fish, or house your boat. Cape Fear, Missouri is not only a great location for boating and water sports, but is also known as the bass capital of the world. The calm waters of the Cove is the perfect place to have your next adventure. The resort offers kayak and paddleboard rentals to guests. Life vests are always included. There is a playground for kids to enjoy and hiking trails to explore. An in-ground pool is sure to make a splash with guests of all ages. And what better way to end the day than around a fire? A large fire pit is available for s'mores, fun, and memories. These amenities and more will be sure to entertain you and your family. The Cottages of Fairhaven is on the quiet side of the lake, near Cape Fear Marina and Flat Creek Restaurant. A short drive will take you to Silver Dollar City, Branson Landing, the show boat Branson Bell, abundant shopping, shows, museums, and some of the best golf in the Midwest. Reach out to your host today to book your next vacation.
Welcome back to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network. Guy Newcomb alongside here for the next, we got about an hour and 15 minutes left. Would love to hear from you. You can just send us a message right there, just on Facebook, YouTube, or wherever you may be listening from. But wherever you're listening from, we appreciate you tuning in. I've had several thousand hits, several thousand viewers here since we began this. Actually, went over 6 million hits here just recently. So we appreciate everyone tuning in and also bearing with us as we are learning some of the technical parts. So if I'm cracking up a little bit on the microphone, my apologies here. Got a lot of windows open, and we'll be upgrading equipment here very soon. We've already got the new tower here. It's right. I'm looking at it right now, so it's not too far away from me. We'll get that set up, and if we can figure it out, but we will, I promise. But hey, send us a message. Hey, and if you're out there driving, hey, check cars. Make sure everybody in your vehicle that's riding with you is buckled up. Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. We'll run down the scores with you one more time. We've refreshed the page here, and we'll go all the way back up to the top here. You can go to scoreboardguy.net, and you can see the Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Week 9 high school football scoreboard presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, No Propane, Great Southern Bank, Labor's Local 663, the Bank of Billings, and we are all, as always, live in the Pizza Ranch studio. And you can see that Pizza Ranch right there. If you're watching, the Pizza Ranch logo right there behind the banner. First off, here we'll go hit the scores from last night. It was Ava over Willow Springs, 50-7. Francis Howell North defeats Fort Zumwalt South, 35-13. Normandy over Jennings, 30-16. Norborn defeats Keatsville, 52-12. Southeast over Northeast Kansas City, 38-0. Over Pattenburg, 74-13. Pierce City, a big win, Lockton, 34-28. New Madrid Central over Portageville, 41-30. It was Sullivan defeating North County, 34-13. And here on page 2 is 8-man football brought to you by Central Bank of the Ozarks. Our Central Bank 8-man football scoreboard from tonight, Appleton City over Jasper, 52-42. Lockwood defeats Rich Hill, 65-6. Rockport over Mound City, 18-14. North Andrew defeats Southwest 68-8. Worth County over Stanberry 66-14. South Nottoway defeats Tarkio 30-16. Page 2. Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. Pizza Ranch, home of the quarterback luncheons, Springfield area and Springfield City and area schools, part of the quarterback club that meets every Monday at 11:30 at Pizza Ranch. Join us. Great food, great fellowship, and great coaches. Brentwood over Sparta, Illinois, 48-0. Crest Ridge defeats Slater, 52-19. Was Crystal City over Herculaneum, 32-14. Gallatin gets a forfeit and defeats Princeton 13-0. It was Jefferson over St. Vincent, 46-28. Lafayette County defeats Carrollton, 79-12. East Buchanan over Lawson, 41-0. Malden forfeits to Dexter. Mark Twain over Van Far, 68-8. Milan over Maysville, 34-26. And yes, the Cemetery Bowl. Mid Buchanan over Plattsburgh, 63-6. Cole Camp defeats Midway, 50-6. It was Marionville over Miller, 42-6. Monroe City shuts out Clark County, 50-0. It was North Platte over Lathrop, 36-14. South Shelby over Palmyra, 31-6. Penny defeats West Platte, 46-8. Putnam County over Polo, 42-8. Agape forfeits to Russellsville. Kabul shuts out Salem, 44-0. Harrisburg over Scotland County, 56-6. Tipton over Adrian, 19-16. Trenton over South Harrison, 48-0. Lincoln over Wellington Napoleon, 54-14. West Strand defeats Salisbury, 44-0. And Page 3, brought to you by the Chevy dealers of the Ozarks. Warsaw over Buffalo, 61-24. California over Hallsville, 41-38. McDonald County defeats East Newton, 40-14. Springfield Central over Forsyth, 57-11. Union defeats Herman, 21-14. Borgia over Missouri Military via the forfeit. Bowling Green defeats North Callaway, 61-12. Osage over Versailles, 52-0. Nevada defeats Seneca, 49-14. Stratford over Skyline, 62-4. And St. Genevieve defeats Kelly, 42-14. We'll step away, take a quick time out. We come back. Hopefully we'll have Coach Mac Whitehead on with us from Diamond High School football.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a time like this, in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's a lot better now.
It was like a huge weight lifted.
Welcome back to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network. Guy Newcomb sitting in with you for about another hour. expect to be hearing from Diamond football coach Matt Whitehead. They get a 43-0 shutout tonight over Clever. Wanted to kind of touch base with him a little bit about the districts as you look at just seeing if some of the districts were updated now. We'll start in Class 6. In Class 6, District 1 is where you find CBC, and they have not updated these yet. These games have just now gone final, but CBC right now is sitting in the one spot at 7-1. Marquette not too far behind, so it could determine what happens tonight. Marquette is 7-1. Seckman also 7-1, and all three of those teams at 7-1. We already know Seckman won tonight. And apparently I missed a phone call. And I did. Well, here is Coach Mac Whitehead. Coach Whitehead, hey, thanks so much for being part of the show. Sorry I missed your first call.
Hey, that's all right. Thank you for having me.
Coach, you had a big shutout victory tonight over Clever. Tell us a little bit about your team and what went on tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, our kids played really well tonight. It all comes back to our week of preparation. We had a great week of practice. The kids are focused and dialed in this week, and we're really starting to kind of get it figured out right when we need to. So tonight, our 5 offensive linemen, really performed well. And, that's a credit to their position coach Key and how well he prepares them. So I can't say our kids how hard they played tonight.
Coach, tell us your season up to this point. I know it's a final day of the regular season, but what are you guys doing really well right now, and are you healthy?
Our season kind of started out just trying to figure out who we were. We have 5 seniors, and they're all offensive linemen, and 2 of those guys played quality minutes last year. So really, we're a very young football team, and everybody on the back end on offense are, we start 1 freshman, a couple of sophomores, and some juniors. And so we spent the first 5 or 6 weeks just trying to get ready for, trying to figure out Friday night football. And, slowly and surely as the season's gone on, those guys have matured. And right now, we're running the ball really well. And, that's, coming from my background at Seneca, that's what we want to do is we want to pound the ball and control the clock. And that's what we've been able to do last week against Sarcoxy and then this week as well.
Coach, and again, we're visiting with Coach Mac Whitehead from Diamond Wildcats head football coach. Coach, tell us a little bit about your district. I know it's that will be decided. The brackets will come out tomorrow, I guess. But tell us a little bit about that district.
Well, Marionville's at the top, and that's who everyone's chasing. What we're trying to prepare. We kind of have an idea of who we think we're going to play. Sarcoxy and Ash Grove are playing tonight. I tried to catch a score a little bit ago, and I think Sarcoxy's pulling, really close to Ash Grove. Ash Grove was winning, and so, Kabul's right in front of us. They played Salem tonight, with them getting some bonus points for playing a Class 3 school. I don't know if we did enough to catch them to flip to 6. I'm pretty sure that we're probably going to stay right there at the 7. So, Sarcoxy's at 2, Ash Grove's at 3, and if Ash Grove beats, I think those guys will flip, and we'll wind up going to Sarcoxy. But either way, we're going to wind up playing, a conference opponent again on the road. So, it's hard to play on the road in our conference, and especially against quality teams like Sarcoxy and Ash Grove.
And I believe, you mentioned Seneca. I believe you were at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was a great experience for me for several reasons. I've got 2 older brothers that I watched growing up play football at Seneca, and I never got it. They're a lot older than me. I'm just going to call them old. But I never got a chance to play with them. And so when they threw in that decade, it kind of got all 3 of us. And so for me to be able to share that with my 2 older brothers was, that was a neat experience. And for mom and dad to be able to see that. And then also just to see Coach Hodge again and the coaches that I played for. And, I got there's about 8 of us in that 94 group that we still we get together at least once a week, and we go on trips in the summer, and those are my dudes, and to be able to share that with them, and also to just kind of relive some of that those glory days at Seneca, and especially during that era, what a special time it was to be able to play at Seneca under Coach Hodge and Coach Houston and all those other guys.
You look back in that, and I was part of that era as well. Now, obviously, I wasn't at Seneca, but they were a burn our side at Mount Vernon in that from that 86 to 88 season. There was Shannon Crouch carrying the football.
Shannon was my idol. When I was, that little blonde-headed kid playing tackle football behind the bleachers. They don't let you do that anymore. But back at Seneca, you'd get behind those other bleachers, and you'd catch bits and pieces of the game, and that's all I wanted to do. Is I wanted to be Shannon Crouch. He was it to me back. So and for him to kind of share this experience it's pretty cool.
Yeah, just while we've got you, just updating that Ash Grove Sarcoxy game has gone final. Ash Grove hangs on and wins 46-44.
Wow. There's a 3-point difference there. So, I don't know if I'm almost positive they'll flip. And so, of course, they will, because now they'll be head to head. So even if Sarcoxy stays 2, if we stay 8, then we'll be on the road to Ash Grove.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, I really appreciate you being part of the show tonight. Thanks for calling in, and good luck as you go forward. And I know we'll visit again.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your coverage.
Hey, you bet. You bet, Coach.
All right.
Bye-bye. Coach Matt Whitehead, head football coach there. Excuse me. Head football coach at Diamond. Got to talk a little bit about that Seneca group, and I didn't want to bring it up, but Seneca kind of got it handed to him tonight by Nevada, 49-14. And another final. This just in, as Reed Spring hangs on to defeat Mount Vernon 35-34 as Mount Vernon went for the 2-point conversion at the end of the game and comes up short. So Mount Vernon defeated by Reed Spring. And that's kind of been the new rivalry there in that Big 8 conference between Mount Vernon and Reed Spring. And hopefully they'll get back to that more traditional rivalry of Aurora, just 11 miles down the road are the Hound Dogs. But Mount Vernon falls tonight, 35-34. And we did update that Ash Grove Sarcoxy game has gone final. Ash Grove hangs on and they defeat Sarcoxy 46-44. Trying to update look at the updates on Misha, and I've got 2 computers now trying to pull into, but everybody must be going to Misha tonight because it's very slow loading right now. So what we'll do, we'll run through the scores we have at this time as we refresh this page. And again, you can chat with us here on our stream. You can type notes right into it. They'll pop up right on the screen while folks are watching. We're 34 minutes into the show, and we want to update the scoreboard here on the Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Week 9 High School Football Scoreboard, presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Doak Propane, Great Southern Bank, Laborers Local 663, the Bank of Billings, and as always, live from the Pizza Ranch studio. In Thursday night games, it was Ava over Willow Springs, 50-7. Francis Howell North defeats Fort Zumwalt South 35-13. It was Normandy over Jennings, 52-12. Southeast defeats Northeast Kansas City 38-0. Albany over Pattonsburg 74-32. Pierce City defeats Stockton 34-28. New Madrid Central over Portageville 41-30. Sullivan defeats North County 34-13. Page 2, your 8-man football scoreboard from tonight, brought to you by Central Bank of the Ozarks. Appleton City over Jasper, 52-42. Lockwood defeats Rich Hill, 65-6. Rockport over Mound City, 18-14. North Andrew defeats Southwest, 68-8. Oric over Santa Fe, 62-16. Worth County defeats Stanberry, 66-14. And South Nottoway over Tarkio, 30-16. Page 3, brought to you by the Peak Ranch. And if you haven't tried their fried chicken, shame on you. Get into Pizza Ranch. Hey, join me there on Monday at 11:30. It was Brentwood over Spartanoy, 48-0. Crest Ridge defeats Slater, 52-19. Crystal City over Herculaneum, 32-14. Diamond defeats Clever, 43-0. Princeton forfeits to Gallatin. Jefferson over St. Vincent, 46-28. Lafayette County over Carrollton, 79-12. East Buchanan over Lawson, 41-0. Malden forfeits to Dexter. Mark Twain wins 68-8 over Van Far. Milan over Maysville, 34-26. Mid Buchanan over Plattsburgh, 63-6. Colcamp defeats Midway, 50-6. Marionville over Miller, 42-6. Monroe City defeats Clark County, 50-0. North Platte over Lathrop, 36-14. South Shelby over Palmyra, 31-6. Penny defeats West Platte, 46-8. Putnam County over Polo, 42-8. Agape forfeits to Russellville. Kabul shuts out Salem, 44-0. Was Harrisburg over Scotland County, 56-6. Tipton defeats Adrian, 19-16. Trenton over South Harrison, 48-0. Lincoln defeats Wellington Napoleon, 54-14. Western over Salisbury, 44-0. And Windsor forfeits to Lone Jack. Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks. Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks sponsors our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athletes of the Week on a weekly basis. One male, one female, and sometimes more. You want to see the Athletes of the Week? Go to MissouriSportsNetwork.com. And they're right there on the icon. You can see the pictures. You can hear the interviews and see some of the stats as well. And at Camdenton, Glendale just blocked a potential game-winning field goal. They're going to overtime, all knotted up in that Ozark Conference game there. And that will really split up the Ozark Conference Championship then. And I don't understand, I'm not for sure the rules, but if Glendale hangs on, then that would mean that Lebanon and Camdenton would tie. Glendale hangs on if they win because it's tied right now. Anyway, Warsaw over Buffalo, 61-24. California defeats Hallsville, 41-38. McDonald County over East Newton, 40-14. Springfield Central goes to 7-2 as they defeat Forsyth, 57-11. Union over Herman, 21-14. Was Holden defeats Knobnoster, 44-6. Missouri Military forfeits to Borgia. Reach Spring hangs on, defeats Mount Vernon in Mount Vernon, 35-34 as Mount Vernon goes for it, goes for two, and is kept out of the end zone at the end. Bowling Green over North Callaway, 61-12. Osage defeats Versailles, 52-0. Van Horn over Pembroke Hill, 28-22. Nevada 49, Seneca 14. Was Stratford over Skyline 62-14. St. Genevieve defeats Kelly 42-14. Page 4. Labor's Local 663, Building, Missouri, and Building, Missouri State. Boonville over Eldon 34-24. Park Hills Central defeats Farmington 48-14. St. Charles West over Fort Zumwalt East 38-10. Valley Catholic defeats Kennett 46-16. Lincoln Prep over Central out of Kansas City 59-0. Logan Rogersville shut out Aurora 45-0. St. Mary's over Lutheran North 51-33. Jeff City over Moberly 58-14. Monette defeats Cassville 27-10. Odessa over Harrisonville 29-26. Cape Central defeats Potosi 34-27. St. Clair over Owensville 21-6. Pleasant Hill defeats Summit Christian 63-14. Warrenburg over at Oak Grove 42-28. Page 5. Silo Ridge Golf and Country, located in Bolivar, Missouri, one of the nicest country clubs and golf courses in the state. Kickapoo defeats Bolivar 12-7. Bolivar, the first team to get in the end zone against Kickapoo since week 3, I believe, on offense. Excelsior Springs over Ruskin 41-14. Hannibal defeats Battle 27-21. It was Jackson over Festus 52-0. Page 6. The Bank of Billings, established in 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Locations in Billings and Marionville. Glendale and Camden are in overtime. St. Joe Central defeats Truman 42-7. Eureka over Hazelwood 39-2. Francis Howell defeats Rockbridge 59-21. It was Staley over North Kansas City 37-0. Platte County defeats William Chrisman 42-14. Seckman over Webster Groves 48-6. Webb City defeats Branson 56-14. Page 7. Great Southern Bank. Great Southern Bank with more than 100 locations in 6 states. It cares as much about your money as you do. Great Southern Bank, member FDIC. Hickman defeats Belleville, Illinois 22-20. East St. Louis over DeSmet 40-10. Blue Springs South over Liberty 38-14. And Rockhurst defeats Harmon, Kansas 41-0. Your Doak Propane Saturday schedule, just one game on the docket at this time as Rittenhour is at University. Michigan, they have updated some of the scores here, and we've got class up, and we'll not be able to pull them up. Let's see if we could just check some other scores here, maybe some updates from around the state of Missouri. So we've got some finals that we can find somewhere else. You can type us a note. We have Carthage over Willard 55-14. We mentioned Glendale and Camden are in overtime, tied at 29. Lebanon defeats Rolla 42-14. Lamar shuts out Hollister 41-0. West Plains defeats Waynesville 43-18. Republic over Carl Junction 35-17. Marshfield defeats Springfield Catholic 38-7. Monette over Cassville 27-10. Stratford defeats Skyline 62-14. Mountain Grove defeats Thayer 43-6. As we mentioned, Ash Grove Grove over Sarcoxy 46-44. Cole Camp defeats Midway 50-6. Appleton City over Jasper 52-42. And we're really having issues getting into the Misha website. We'll look here and see if we can't pull it up on another computer. You can shoot me a direct message on Twitter, or you can tweet at Scoreboard Guy or at Missouri_sports. Just updating the Misha scoreboard, if we can pull that up and see if there's some more scores have been reported there, but likely not going to happen as everyone is inside the Misha website right now. Well, we do have some finals here. It was Clayton over Afton 41-40. Hickman defeats Belleville West 22-20. Kearney over Belton 33-21. Boonville defeats Eldon 34-24. California over Hallsville 41-38. Center goes to 9-0 as they defeat Clinton 55-8. Cardinal Ritter also 9-0 as they defeat St. Louis University High 44-0. CBC over Edwardsville, Illinois 44-17. Crestridge defeats Slater 52-19. Just updating some of the scores here. Fair Grove over El Dorado Springs 30-15. Fair Grove now 5-4 on the season. Excelsior Springs defeats Ruskin 41-14. St. Charles West over Fort Zumwalt East 38-10. Grain Valley defeats Raytown 28-14. Hannibal over Battle 27-21. Hannibal now 7-2 on the season. Hillsborough defeats Poplar Bluff and they go to 8-1. They win 48-14. Jefferson out of Festus improves to 5-4 as they defeat St. Vincent 46-28. Normandy 30-16 over Jennings High School. Kirkwood, they go to 5-3 as they shut out Hazelwood West 61-0. Holden 44-6 over Knobnoster. East Buchanan over Lawson 41-0. Lee Summit North, they defeat Park Hill 40-34. So they do not get the 13 points there. So that may come in crucial in that seed there in that Class 6 District 3. Blue Springs South 38-14 over Liberty. Lincoln College Prep defeats Central Kansas City 59-0. Dexter over Malden, but that's a forfeit. Macon defeats Centralia 20-14. Cameron over Marshall 24-7. Cole Camp defeats Midway 50-6. Jefferson City over Moberly 58-14. Monroe City goes to 9-0 at County 50-0. Rockport over Mound City 18-14. North Andrew defeats Southwest Livingston 68-8. I better check that. Yeah, 68-8. North Platte over Lathrop 36-13. Odessa 3-point win over Harrisonville. Odessa now 6-3. They're Class 3 District 7. South Shelby defeats Palmer Iowa 31-6. And as we're scrolling down here, Rockhurst defeats Harmon, Kansas City 41-0. Ash Grove 46-44. Salem. Seckman goes to 8-1 with that win over Webster Groves, and Seckman is a member of that Class 1 District 6. And we'll see if we can't pull some things up here. But you're listening to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network. Certainly glad that you have tuned in. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Well, we are somewhat hamstrung here, as neither one of our locations can we upload the MISHA site to check on districts and what has happened there. But all of that will be available by tomorrow at noon. I believe Saturday at noon is your opportunity. I'm sorry, I just hit my mic. It's your opportunity to protest. Let's see here. We'll go to, we'll look at this Class 6 first. We can get it pulled up. But while that's loading, we'll run back through. Actually, while that's loading, we're going to play a quick commercial from our folks at Hillcrest High School with their Thrill on the Hill that they want you to attend.
Jackson's present to you Thrill on the Hill. It's hosted at Hillcrest High School on October 29th from 4 to 7 p.m. This event is for parents and young children to enjoy some safe Halloween activities. Come for some fun games, lots of candy, themed photo booths, and our favorite, the Haunted Forest. We welcome you with a big thumbs up to join us and enjoy this event. We can't wait to see you there.
Well, now, unfortunately, I'm getting service unavailable for the MISHA website. So hopefully, here before the end of the show, we will be able to update, at least to give you an idea of who will be playing who in Week 10, who will receive buys, and who will have home field advantage throughout. So we'll go back and we'll run through the scores again on the Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Week 9 high school football scoreboard on Friday Night Live. Guy Newcomb, the scoreboard guy, alongside. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can simply chat with us. We have a comment display page up here on the website, so you can go through YouTube. You can go through YouTube. You can go through the Facebook page. You can go through lots of different places here. And we'll see if we can pull up some stuff from other newspapers or other partners here with the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Just checking on just some scores here that have gone final. Hickman 22, Belleville West 20, St. Mary's 51, Lutheran North 33. East St. Louis defeats DeSmet 40-10. Union 21, Herman 14. Francis Howe, big one over Rockbridge 59-21. Lindbergh, the Flyers, they defeat Lafayette 17-14. Lafayette County over Carrollton 79-12. Bowling Green over North Callaway 61-12. Cardinal Ritter shuts out St. Louis University High 44-0, with St. Clair over Owensville 21-6. Macon defeats Centralia 20-14. Richmond 45-0 over Lexington. Westrand 44-0 over Salisbury. Wright City defeats Louisiana. Louisiana defeats Wright City 50-47. Kind of interested in finding a Parkview Springfield Hillcrest score. Both of those teams looking for their first win on the season. Nixa 51-7 over Ozark. So they do pick up that 13 points. that they will need, and that may be the difference between them staying in number one and falling to number two. But it looks like they're going to stay in that number one seed in that Class 6 District 3, I believe. There, we're really having trouble with mesh, as is everyone tonight. But we'll run through the scores here one more time, take a break, and we'll see if we can't get a couple coaches on the line here. On your Thursday night scoreboard, it was Ava over Willow Springs 50-7. Francis Howe North over Fort Zumwalt South 35-13. Normandy over Jennings 30-16. Norburn defeats Keatsville 52-12. Southeast defeats Northeast Kansas City 38-0. It was Albany over Pattonsburg 74-32. Pierce City defeats Stockton 34-28. New Madrid Central over Portageville 41-30. Sullivan defeats North County 34-13. Those are your Thursday night games. Your Friday night games here on page one. 8-man football brought to you by Central Bank of the Ozarks. Appleton City over Jasper 52-42. North Shelby defeats Bramer 96-80. And yes, you heard that correct. 96-80. 176 points scored in that contest. Drexel over St. Paul Lutheran 66-30. Lockwood defeats Rich Hill 65-6. It was Rockport over Mound City 18-14. North Andrew defeats Southwest 68-8. Schuyler County over Northwest 68-0. Oric defeats Santa Fe 62-16. South Holt over Nottoway Holt 28-22. Worth County defeats Stanberry 66-14. South Nottoway over Tarkio 30-16. Pizza Ranch, page 2. Brentwood over Sparta, Illinois 48-0. Brookfield defeats Highland 34-6. Crest Ridge over Slater 52-19. Crystal City over Herculaneum 32-14. MICDS over Duchesne 44-33, and that's a great game. That's a Class 2 Duchesne team taking on a very good MICDS team who's Class 4. Princeton forfeits to Gallatin. Jefferson over St. Vincent 46-28. Lafayette County over Carrollton 79-12. East Buchanan defeats Lawson 41-0. Louisiana over Wright City 50-47. Malden forfeits to Dexter. Elsewhere, it was Mark Twain over Van Far 68-8. Milan defeats Maysville, and I'm not kidding you, the Cemetery Bowl 34-26. Mid Buchanan over Plattsburgh 63-6. Cole Camp defeats Midway 50-6. Marionville over Miller 42-6. Monroe City over Clark County 50-0. North Platte defeats Lathrop 36-14. South Shelby over Palmyra 31-6. Penny defeats West Platte 46-8. Putnam County over Polo 42-8. Agape forfeits to Russellville. Cabool defeats Salem 44-0. Ash Grove defeats Sarcoxy 46-44. Harris over Scotland County 56-6. St. Pius X over Perryville 27-18. Tipton hangs on, defeats Adrian 19-16. Trenton over South Harrison 48-0. Lincoln defeats Wellington Napoleon 54-14. West Strand shuts out Salisbury 44-0. Windsor forfeits to Lone Jack. Page 3 brought to you by the Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks. Warsaw over Buffalo 61-24. California over Hallsville 41-38. McDonald County defeats East Newton 40-14. Springfield Central over Forsyth, 57-11. Union over Herman, 21-14. Holden defeats Knobnoster, 44-6. Missouri Military forfeits to Borgia. Reed Spring defeats Mount Vernon, 35-34. Mount Vernon going for the 2-point conversion as time expired. Bowling Green over North Callaway, 61-12. Osage over Versailles, 52-0. Van Horn defeats Pembroke Hill, 28-22. Glendale, it has gone final. Glendale has defeated Camdenton 37-35 in overtime. So big win there for the Glendale Falcons. Nevada, a big win over Seneca, 49-14. Stratford defeats Skyline 62-14. St. Genevieve over Kelly 42-14. Page 4. Labor's Local 663, Building Missouri and Building Missouri State. Boonville over Eldon 34-24. Cardinal Ritter shuts out St. Louis University High 44-0. Park Hills Central defeats Farmington 48-14. St. Charles West over Fort Zumwalt East 38-10. Valley Catholic defeats Kennett 46-16. Lincoln Prep over Central Kansas City 59-0. Logan Rogersville over Aurora 45-0. St. Mary's defeats Lutheran North 51-33. Jeff City over Moberly 58-14. Monette defeats Cassville 27-10. Odessa over Harrisonville 29-26. Cape Central over Potosi 34-27. St. Clair defeats Owensville 21-6. Pleasant Hill over Summit Christian 63-14. Warrensburg defeats Oak Grove 42-8. Page 5. Silo Ridge Golf and Country. Silo Ridge Golf and Country located in Bolivar, Missouri, one of the nicest golf and country clubs in the state of Missouri. Kickapoo comes back. They were trailing Bolivar 7-6. They come back. They win 12-7. Excelsior Springs over Ruskin 41-14. Hannibal defeats Battle 27-21. Jackson shuts out Festus 52-0. Page 6, brought to you by the Bank of Billings, established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Glendale defeats Camdenton 37-35 in overtime. St. Joe's Central over Truman 42-7. Eureka 39, Hazelwood Central 2. Francis Howell 59, Rockbridge 21. Fort Zumwalt West 42, Fort Zumwalt North 14. Staley over North Kansas City 37-0. Platte County defeats William Crispin 42-14. Seckman over Webster Groves 48-6. Webb City defeats Branson 56-14. Page 7. Great Southern Bank. Great Southern Bank. The new naming rights of the Missouri State University basketball arena will now be the Great Southern Bank Arena. Hickman over Belleville, Illinois 22-20. CBC defeats Edwardsville, Illinois 44-17. East St. Louis over DeSmet 40-10. Blue Springs South defeats Liberty 38-14. Nixa over Ozark 51-7. And Rockhurst defeats Harmon, Kansas 41-0. Your Doak Propane Saturday schedule is Rittenhour at University City. And now a word from Pizza Ranch and Country Financial.
Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way.
Don't you mean my way, Mr. Voiceover Guy?
Sure, anyone's way, actually. Request your favorite pizza. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the first slice.
I can add peppers to pepperoni, Stampede on stuffed crust, maybe Texan taco on thin. No tomatoes on my half. How can I convince Mom to let us eat here every night?
It's buffet your way at Pizza Ranch. Say it with me, kid.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a time like this, in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's a lot better now.
It was like a huge weight lifted.
Hey, welcome back to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, where everyone has a home field advantage. We're still efforting, looking up these district standings. Here we'll try on the Class 6 District 3 standings to see if we can get that pulled up. But everyone right now is on the MISHA website, so we're just having real trouble loading what's going on. If you have any updates, you can send us a message right here on our chat display. Will pop up right on the page. We're an hour and 10 minutes into the show, and we kind of got some things working here now with the website, and we'll see if that will allow us to pull up an updated district for any of these districts, because this is the last night of high school regular season football. So whatever happens tonight and then one game tomorrow will affect the district seeds. Coaches have the opportunity. And yeah, Lee Summit North, that has posted. So they are 8-1, but they do not have enough points to pass Nixa. Nixa, who will go to 8-1 and will collect the 13 points for winning that contest. Divided by 10 is 1.3 or 9. I'm sorry, divided by 9. So that will not work out. Nixa will hang on to that one seed in that Class 3 District 6. So next week, in Week 10, the first week of districts in Class 6 District 3, Nixa now will host Ozark as they played at Ozark tonight. So back-to-back weeks, they will be playing Ozark. Once at Ozark, and now next week, Week 10, will be at Nixa. But Nixa hangs on to that one seed, and they'll be the one seed as long as they're live in that district. Lee Summit North is the 2 seed, and Lee Summit North will host Lee Summit West. Kickapoo is the 3 seed as they go to 7-2. Now, Joplin's score is not reflected here at this point, and they did not play one another in the regular season, so that will not be a factor. But depending on Joplin's score and what happens there, Joplin might jump. They are almost a full point behind Kickapoo right now. So they would have to win by 13, and I'm not sure who they were playing off the top of my head. May have been Carl Junction, but we'll see. So Kickapoo, Kickapoo then will host a 4-4 Lee Summit team, and Joplin will host Ray-Peck. If it stays like it is right now, as you look at some of the other, we'll go to the Seckman District, which is Class 6 District 1. Try and pull that up as well. Here's some folks maybe just tuning in, and Glendale has indeed defeated Camdenton 37-35 in overtime. Here. Any other scores for folks that are listening that may have surprised you? I didn't see anything really that jumped out at me outside. That was probably the biggest surprise of the night, was Glendale defeating Camdenton in overtime and holding them just to 29 points in regulation, which may be their lowest output of the season in 4 quarters. They put up 45 a week ago against a very good Lebanon team and went to 8-0, but they finished 8-1 in that district. And that district, I got 2 computers that have the same district. They didn't. I'll be okay. We'll see if we can't get this figured out. And like I said, Mitchell right now is just being bombarded with, see, Seckman High School. They're 8-1 on the season. Their only loss is to Valley Catholic, and that's in week 1. We've had Coach Nair on a couple of different times because of Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week earlier, and he is their quarterback. He's had a tremendous season for Seckman. And we will check out, see if we can get this district to load, and that's the Class 6 District 1, of which I believe Southwest or Northwest Cedar Hill is a member, and they are not good. They're 0-9 right now. Marquette may be in that district as well, and it is, and it has been updated, and Seckman will hang on to that 3 spot. The 1 seed right now, with scores reported, CBC goes to 8-1, so they're the 1 seed, and they will host Vianney. Marquette 8-1, and they're the 2 seed, and they will host Northwest Cedar Hill. Seckman is the 3 seed, and they will host a 3-6 St. Louis University high team. Kirkwood 5-3 on the season. They're the 4 seed at this time. I don't think they can catch Seckman because their game has not been reported. Kirkwood is the 4 seed, and they would host a 6-3 Lindbergh team coming into that. So we're starting to get a little bit of movement here in the district seeds, and we're going to go back to Class 1 and see how many of them we can get uploaded. And, well, we're not even going to be able to get Class 1 updated. My goodness. But, hey, that's what we're here for. We'll try and get everything out. We'll go through the scores one more time here for you. It's 10:45 on a Friday night. I hope everyone is safe. I know it was warm out there tonight. I went over to the Bolivar game just right at the beginning. Kickapoo had traveled to Bolivar, and know a few of the coaches on both sides. And the white hat tonight was Grant Baker, who a longtime friend, went to high school with and college with, and went over and visited with him just a little bit. But here's our scores right now. Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Week 9 high school football scoreboard, presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Doak Propane, Great Southern Bank, Laborers Local 663, the Bank of Billings, and as always, from the Pizza Ranch studio. Thursday night scores here. Ava over Willow Springs, 50-7. Was Francis Howell North over Fort Zumwalt South, 35-13. Normandy defeats Jennings, 30-16. Norburn over Keatsville, 52-12. Southeast over Northeast Kansas City, 38-0. It was Albany over Pattonsburg, 74-32. Pierce City defeats Stockton, 34-28. New Madrid Central over Portageville, 41-30. Sullivan defeats North County, 34-13. Your Friday night scoreboard, we'll start with the Central Bank of the Ozarks 8-man football scoreboard. It was Appleton City over Jasper, 52-42. North Shelby 96-80 over Bramer. Drexel over St. Paul Lutheran 66-30. Greenfield over Osceola 50-14. Lockwood defeats Rich Hill 65-6. Rockport over Mound City 18-14. How about that for an 8-man football score? You got in the 50s, the 60s, the 90s, the 80s, and then you get a defensive battle 18-14. North Andrew over Southwest 68-8. Schuyler County over Northwest 68-0. Oric over Santa Fe 62-16. South Holt over Nottoway Holt 28-22. Worth County over Stanberry 66-14. Sweet Springs over Concordia 72-56. On your Pizza Ranch scoreboard here is page 2. Brentwood shuts out Sparta, Illinois 48-0. Brookfield over Highland 34-6. Crestridge defeats Slater 52-19. Crystal City over Herculaneum 32-14. Diamond shuts out Clever 43-0. MICDS over Duchesne 44-33. Father Tolt over Fayette 40-36. Princeton forfeits to Gallatin. Jefferson over St. Vincent 46-28. Lafayette County defeats Carrollton 79-12. East Buchanan over Lawson 41-0. Louisiana defeats Wright City 50-47. Malden forfeits to Dexter. Mark Twain over Van Far 68-8. Milan defeats Maysville 34-26. Mid Buchanan over Plattsburgh 63-6. Colcamp defeats Midway 50-6. Marionville over Miller 42-6. Monroe City defeats Clark County 50-0. North Platte over Lathrop 36-14. South Shelby defeats Palmyra 31-6. Penny over West Platte 46-8. Putnam County over Polo 42-8. Agape forfeits to Russellville. Kabul over Salem 44-0. Ashgrove defeats Sarcoxy 46-44. Harrisburg over Scotland County 56-6. St. Pius X defeats Perryville 27-18. Mountain Grove over Thayer 43-6. Tipton defeats Adrian 19-16. Trenton over South Harrison 48-0. Lincoln defeats Wellington Napoleon 54-14. Westrand over Salisbury 44-0. Windsor forfeits to Lone Jack. Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks brings you page 3. Warsaw over Buffalo 61-24. California defeats Hallsville 41-38. McDonald County over East Newton 40-14. Fairgrove defeats El Dorado Springs. Springfield Central over Forsyth 57-11. Union over Herman 21-14. Holden defeats Knobnoster 44-6. Missouri Military forfeits to Borgia. Reed Spring defeats Mount Vernon 35-34. Bowling Green over North Callaway 61-12. Osage over Versailles 52-0. Van Horn defeats Pembroke Hill 28-22. Big win over Seneca 49-14. Stratford defeats Skyline 62-12. Marshfield over Springfield Catholic 38-7. St. Genevieve defeats Kelly 42-14. Page 4, Labor's Local 663, Building, Missouri, and Building, Missouri State. Boonville defeats Eldon 34-24. Cardinal Ritter over Slough 44-0. Was Farmington falling to Central Park Hills 48-14. Orchard Farm over DeSoto 35-14. St. Charles West over Fort Zumwalt East 38-10. Valley Catholic over Kennett 46-16. Lincoln Prep shuts out Central Kansas City 59-0. Logan Rogersville shuts out Aurora 45-0. St. Mary's over Lutheran North 51-33. Jeff City defeats Moberly 58-14. Monette over Cassville 27-10. Odessa defeats Harrisonville 29-26. Cape Central out of Cape Girardeau 34-27 over Potosi. St. Clair over Owensville 21-6. Pleasant Hill defeats Summit Christian 63-14. Warrensburg over Oak Grove 42-28. Page 5, Silo Ridge Golf and Country. Clayton over Afton 41-40. Kickapoo over Bolivar 12-7. Excelsior Springs over Ruskin 41-14. Hannibal over Battle 27-21. Hillsboro defeats Poplar Bluff 48-14. Jackson shuts out Festus 52-0. Bank of Billings, page 6. Glendale over Camdenton 37-35 in overtime. St. Joe Central defeats Truman 42-7. Eureka over Hazelwood Central 39-2. Francis Howell over Rockbridge 59-21. Francis Howell Central over Washington 30-27. Fort Zumwalt West 42, Fort Zumwalt North 14. Lebanon defeats Rolla. Lindbergh over Lafayette. Troy Buchanan defeats Liberty 55-7. Staley over North Kansas City 37-0. Melville defeats Northwest 13-10. Oakville over Parkway South 35-7. Platte County defeats William Chrisman 42-14. Sackman over Webster Groves 48-6. Holt defeats Timberland 42-35. Webb City over Branson 56-14. Carthage defeats Willard. Page 7. Great Southern Bank. Hickman over Belleville 22-20. CBC defeats East St. Louis 44-17. Blue Springs South over Liberty 38-14. Marquette over Pattonville 38-14. Nixa over Ozark 51-7. And Rockhurst defeats Harmon, Kansas 41-0. And now a word from the cottages at Fairhaven.
Welcome to the cottages at Fairhaven Cove. This resort spans 12 acres on a quiet cove on Table Rock Lake. You will feel right at home in one of the newly renovated cottages. Options include studio, 1-bedroom, and 2-bedroom units. These units have been beautifully redone from floor to ceiling and offer both comfort and style. Each cottage has a fully functional kitchen, deck or balcony with incredible lake view and outdoor entertainment area complete with a grill. Whether a couple or family, the perfect space awaits you. RV parking at Fairhaven Cove is now available to all guests as well. This is an ideal spot for a weekend getaway or family reunions. 4 full hookup RV parking sites are offered. Each site is complete with a picnic table, grill, Wi-Fi, and digital TV upon request. All guests have access to the numerous amenities that Fairhaven Cove offers. 2 boat docks are available for use. You can take a dip in the lake, fish, or house your boat. Cape Fear, Missouri is not only a great location for boating and water sports, but is also known as the bass capital of the world. The calm waters of the Cove is the perfect place to have your next adventure. The resort offers kayak and paddleboard rentals to guests. Life vests are always included. There is a playground for kids to enjoy and hiking trails to explore. An in-ground pool is sure to make a splash with guests of all ages. And what better way to end the day than around a fire? A large fire pit is available for s'mores, fun, and memories. These amenities and more will be sure to entertain you and your family. The Cottages of Fairhaven is on the quiet side of the lake, near Cape Fear Marina and Flat Creek Restaurant. A short drive will take you to Silver Dollar City, Branson Landing, the show boat Branson Bell, abundant shopping, shows, museums, and some of the best golf in the Midwest. Reach out to your host today to book your next vacation.
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And welcome back to Friday Night Lights. I'd like to take an opportunity here. One score we do have, a final has just come in. Both teams state ranked in this one is Savannah defeats St. Pius X, 28-13. Also want to take an opportunity to plug Huddle Up. Huddle Up is a show that we record on Wednesday nights. Myself, Coach Darren Archer, Austin Bradley, and Johnny Mack, and we talk all things sports, all things Missouri. But what a night it has been. Here in high school football. Overtime games, last plays. You go back to Glendale defeating Camdenton in overtime. You get Mount Vernon going for 2 against Reed Spring at home and falling 35-34. Try and update these scores throughout the evening. Here, we want to say a special thanks to our sponsors. Coming to you from our Pizza Ranch studio. We'll be at Pizza Ranch Monday at 11:30 for our Springfield quarterback luncheon. And special thanks. Betty Smith just sent me a nice note here thanking us for the coverage, and we appreciate you listening. And tune in here at the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. But join us Monday at the Quarterback Club luncheon at Pizza Ranch on the Mall, 11:30 to 1 o'clock. Some media, coaches there as well. A lot of fans come in and enjoy just a tremendous buffet, and Pizza Ranch really takes care of us there. Then Thursday, November the 3rd, we will be taking the Quarterback Club on the road as Have Pizza, Scoreboard guy will travel. And so we will go to St. Joe, and they've got a real nice meeting room set up there for us. We'll have schools from Savannah. We'll have some of the St. Joe schools, Mid Buchanan, maybe East Buchanan. Apollo was there the last time. We also had St. Joe Benton was a part of the show, and so was South Harrison. So we'll see. And Maryville. Coach Matt Webb from Maryville drove down. So we'll be there on November the 3rd, 11:30 to 1 o'clock there at Pizza Ranch in St. Joe. Everyone out there, we appreciate listening. Keep it here. We will update stuff throughout the evening at scoreboardguy.net, and then we'll try and come up tomorrow. We will start putting the brackets out, or at least the game schedules, for Week 10 in high school football. You've been watching Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Good night.